walked off. So since tonight is open fight night, I thought I would take the time to call out AJ Styles.
Maybe he's at the bar. Meaning AJ. No, yes?
Pretty sure it's a dry county here, Taz. It might not sit too well with the cowboy either.
Well, I'm glad you could finally show up. Now, AJ Styles, I know exactly what you're going through. I know your head is all messed up. I was there last year. I lost a big match. I went home. But I picked myself up and I got back in this ring and do what I do best. And that's exactly what you need to do. Now being a man from the South, I'm pretty sure that you can relate to this. We can handle this two ways. This hand, we can put a nice cold beer in it, and we can drink about it, and we can talk about it. Or in this hand, we can close it up, make a fist, and just fight about it. Either way, I'm good. The choice is yours.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Fearon.
Sit down, shut up, and listen up.
That means you too, Alex. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Kind of shaking things up a little bit, getting wrestling from the perspective of an 8-year-old, a longtime friend of the family, Alex, and he's here in studio. He got the chance to see Monday Night Raw live at the Wells Fargo Center, his first live event, and we've been chatting a little bit about that, as well as some other stuff. We've actually got some Facebook feedback for Alex, and vicariously me as well. So we'll delve into that in a second. But the clip that you just heard from Impact this past Thursday, of course, it was open fight night. You could call out whoever you wanted to, and as you heard there, James Storm calling out AJ Styles, who's kind of disappeared from the radar for a while, but just recently came back, and Styles kind of not really showing whether his allegiance is to TNA or whether it's to the Renegade group Aces and Eights, and looks like that's still there's still a lot to be determined left with that. It was also announced after Jeff winning the number one contender four-way match, basically reclaiming what he decided to give up as far as the number one contendership. He's going to take on Bully Ray for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship a week from this Thursday. That's right, April 11th, on a special episode of Impact Wrestling. And also, there was a number one contender tag title match this past Thursday. Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez beating Daniels and Kazarian. So they are now the number one contenders to the tag titles. And looks like a little bit of friction between Hogan and Sting. I hope it's not leading to another match between the two of them, considering that at this point, their combined age is, 101, 102, something like that. Yeah, I don't know if we... out there. It's something like... I mean, Hogan... Yeah, Hogan's 59. Sting, I think, is like 52 or 53. But, there are a lot of things that you can do in your 50s, but getting into a wrestling ring after having already done it for 25 years, not necessarily that much. Did I save myself there from... Okay. Getting into any kind of trouble there? All right, let's take a look at some Facebook feedback here in reaction to Arnold inducting Bruno Sammartino into the Hall of Fame. John from the Northeast, who's always good for a laugh, chiming in, "I'm Mr. Freeze, and I'll be inducting Bruno into the WWE Hall of Fame." Why'd you have to bring up Mr. Freeze? No, I can't think of like 3 people who liked Batman and Robin. Why'd you have to go there? And also, okay, well, you're one of the 3 apparently. And John also had a question for you, Alex. And I think it's kind of a rhetorical question, but considering, and you probably heard a little bit of this back and forth at the arena, but you heard a lot of chants of "Let's go Cena" and a lot of chants of "Cena sucks." What side are you on? Are you "Let's go Cena" or are you "Cena sucks"?
Let's go Cena. Let's go Cena.
All right, there you go. That answers your question, John. And also Doug chiming in. He said, "Fearon, you're in trouble. Alex is already better than you at this." First of all, then is with an A, THAN, and also it's your YOU''RE. So work on your spelling. That's probably. I should edit these, but no, I'll just stick with the Damian Sandow response of "You're welcome." We'll just leave it at that. And also, based on my brief Merrill impression, Mike Quick would like to let everyone know that the Merrill Reese impression was brought to you by the good folks over at Fearon Dairy, which I guess is pretty much a knock on Mike Quick. Pretty much every time he talks, he's plugging something on the Eagles broadcasts. Probably, says Alex's dad. Yeah, I guess I'll go with that. It's been a little while since I've tuned into a meaningful Eagles broadcast. John also asking, was the news about Flair's blood clot circulating around the building this past Monday? Also, why hasn't WWE mentioned what happened that led to him not appearing? Well, I don't think they directly advertised that Flair was going to be there. At least I don't remember from the TV side of things. I mean, being there live, I'm not 100% sure. But, if it was circulating, it's probably because people like myself was circulating it. But it obviously didn't make its way to TV. Obviously, there were a lot of people who at least were hoping Flair was there, as pretty much during commercials and everything else, there were a lot of people, doing the traditional Ric Flair, woo, as they tend to do. So I don't know. Was it circulating? Hard to say. All right, let's get to the phones. Yeah, why not? Now's a good time as any. Let's bring up Ed, the showstopper here. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly. Oh, Ed, you there?
I'm right here.
Oh, there we go. We got you here. All right, Starship Matt pushing the buttons here, and hopefully the right ones will get the right people to where they got to be here.
Good afternoon and happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you, too. What's on your mind?
Extreme Rising, April 4th, that's all canceled.
Yes,
all
they did. They did announce that. I think it's good that you bring that up. A lot of different local independent organizations, they've been trying to kind of capitalize on the WrestleMania residual, for lack of a better term, figuring that not everybody's going to necessarily go to the Hall of Fame, but they're going to WrestleMania. It's like, hey, if you're spending a couple of days up in North Jersey, the New York area anyway, why not come to our show? But I think the market might be a little oversaturated in that regard.
And WrestleCon and Legends of the Ring are coming next weekend.
Yeah, as if there isn't a bunch of other things going on next weekend. Yes, WrestleCon, Legends of the Ring. Pretty much anybody who's not at the WrestleMania Access Fan Fest is going to be at those two events. I know they've advertised Hogan. They've advertised Sting for that. I believe the Ultimate Warrior's supposed to be there as well. So a lot of notable names from the past. It should be a jam-packed weekend, to say the least.
And one more thing is Backbreakers Training Center in Scranton is having WrestleMania viewing party.
Oh, that's not too bad. I mean, if you don't mind that 3-hour hike up to Scranton, I mean, I think it'll be less time to drive over to where everything's going on at MetLife Stadium. But I don't know. I guess that depends on traffic.
And don't forget PWSWrestling.com for the Supercard weekend.
All right, when's that coming up?
This coming week or this coming Friday.
This coming Friday. Again, yeah. There's so much going on between April 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's unbelievable. Thanks so much for the call, Ed. Appreciate the look at the local scene as always. They don't call him Ed the Showstopper for nothing. All right, let's you know, we'll get to Ron on the other side. We're already up against, the timing of the show has kind of been thrown off thanks to me being a dingbat and not knowing which sounders were what. I have those moments. What can I say? Usually I'm doing this show on minimal sleep. I'll forgive myself. Hopefully you will too. All right, we'll get to Ron on the other side, and we'll talk about, speaking of things coming up next weekend, I'll talk a little bit about that on the other side. A little bit more news and notes, and including one that I've been trying to figure out the best way to explain this story, and we'll just say that it's from the Rectum Darn Near Killed Him department. Well, we got that story coming up on the other side. Plus, The Rock making the media rounds, and also a little bit of news on Paul Bearer. We have an update on that as well. All here on Pro Wrestling Weekly, here on 1490 WBCB, and online at WBCB1490.com.